Okay, all right. We gotta talk. Only 25% of you have notifications turned on. What's wrong with you? Turn those bad boys on or else you're not part of the toilet squad. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Front Page Tech, FPT. The show that gives you all days tech news from one geek that is me to another that is you. I'm loving all these random fuppatas. Listen, we got a lot of stuff to talk about in the show today, a lot of stuff to dive into, so let's not waste any time. Let's just do that. All right? So first off, I want to talk about some Pixel stuff in a little bit. I got some stuff to say, but first, let's talk Apple. Let's talk AirPods. So we got a brand new report from Mark Gurmy. I just decided. That's what I'm calling him now. Mark Gurmy. He dropped a lot of info about pretty much every AirPods model. Like, first of all, apparently Apple is not working on a second generation version of AirPods Max. In fact, he points out that they are just now catching up with demand for the current product, and pretty much all that has been discussed in terms of a new version is just new colors for the current model AirPods Max. Of course, this doesn't necessarily mean that we'll never get an AirPods Max 2, AirPods Maxer, but it does definitely tell us that this is not something that is super high on Apple's priority list. So yeah, maybe new colors in the future, but don't wait around for AirPods Maxer. Also, remember that thing a few weeks ago when everyone thought that AirPods 3 were releasing on May 18th? I know quite a few Twitter leakers said that that was happening, the AirPods 3 were dropping on May 18th, and even to this day, I'm still getting people asking me, but what about AirPods 3? As if I was one of the people saying that they were coming. Nope. I didn't say that. In fact, I literally said that they weren't coming, so how about y'all hop off my balls? Anyhow, along with the news drop that we got yesterday from Mark about AirPods, he also mentioned AirPods 3 and AirPods Pro, saying that AirPods 3, which of course we already know, we've seen a bunch of leaked images and renders of these things, they're redesigned, a redesigned update to Apple's base model AirPods. According to the report, Mark says that Apple is readying AirPods 3, which sure sounds to me a lot like they're launching at least within the next few months. And I mean, if it helps, even though I said that they weren't coming on May 18th, I do happen to know that behind the scenes, they're ready to go, like in boxes. Ready to go, and they have been for a little bit, which is probably why we've seen so many images of these things leak already. But there is one more other little tidbit in here, and that is about AirPods Pro 2.0. He said that the original plan was to launch AirPods Pro 2 at some point this year, but instead, that is being pushed back to next year, so sometime in 2022. So I guess we're just gonna have to sit around and wait for those. I'm excited to see AirPods 3, but I don't think I'm gonna buy them. AirPods Pro 2 though, yeah, put it in my butt. What? No. Hey, if you're a fan of this show, then you know that I talk about WeVPN a lot. It's because I really, really believe in what they're doing, and because they are paying me. That is also a reason. But for real, do you know how many offers I get from VPN companies all over the place, and I turn them down because I want to be able to promote only one VPN to you guys, and I want it to be the one that I trust. WeVPN is made by veterans in this space, a group of guys that came from those other companies to start their own. A VPN that's fast and reliable, one that protects you and your data without storing any logs, one that keeps you from being tracked or traced, and one that unlocks content from your favorite streaming services. So if you love this show and you watch it every day, go give them a try and let me know what you think. It's just $269 a month right now. That's 73% off. And if you use the promo code FPT at checkout, you'll get an additional 10% off just for watching this show. Sure, there are other VPNs out there, but only WeVPN is a longtime supporter of this show. So go ahead, click that link down in the description to get started with WeVPN today. Oh, hey, welcome back. Okay, let's talk about this Pixel stuff, because, man, I got some stuff to say. So Steve from OnLeaks posted renders of the Google Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro He posted these about a week after my renders of the same phones came out. And if you look at Steve's, yeah, so they match mine. So the good news with these is that Steve happens to have an excellent track record when it comes to product design leaks, renders. And I always say on this show that if two people that you trust are saying or showing you the same information, that is ultimately super helpful for you as a viewer or a reader because it substantiates whatever rumor you're looking into. There are, though, a couple things that I would like to say. Number one, let's talk about the chin. So the chin here on the OnLeaks renders, people are freaking out about this. But, well, if it helps, that is not what I saw. Again, for our renders, we had actual images of the device. I had those images from a really, really trusted source. I sent those images over to a render artist, Renders by Ian, to recreate. So we showed you, effectively, exactly what we saw. Whereas OnLeaks, Steve, as far as I know, typically uses CAD files for his renders, and that's what his renders are based on. So, what can I say? I got curious. So, I reached out to a few sources, did some digging around, and got exactly that. The CAD files for Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro. Now listen, I can't disclose where these came from, obviously, but I would bet that these are almost, if not exactly, the same CAD files that OnLeaks used for his renders. And if you look closely, especially for this Pixel 6 Pro CAD file, you can tell that these files are not totally complete. Like the screen here on the front is missing from the Pixel 6 Pro CAD file. It basically shows us where the body of the unit ends, but does not give us a proper look at the bezels of the display and where they would be. And this has happened before. With the OnLeaks renders of the Pixel 5, well, we thought we were going to get a significant chin there, but the actual phone ended up having uniform bezels. So while Steve's track record is pretty amazing, he usually gets us about 95% of the way there most of the time. So if for whatever weird reason, because you don't have anything better to do with your life, you're freaking out about the chin on those Pixel 6 Pro renders from OnLeaks, don't just yet, all right? Because that's not what I saw on actual images of the device. Now, to be fair, maybe I saw images of an early unit or something, and since then, something has changed. But listen, again, can't disclose where I get the things that I get, but I would bet that what I saw was final. Okay, next, I would like to talk about the media for a second. Just a second. Because websites, tech blogs, whatever, can we settle down, you think? There are a lot of tech sites out there that they refuse to say my name. It's gotten better over time, but a lot of them, they just don't like to say it. They don't like to report about my stuff. That's fine. Like, I have my own platform already here, and I'm really grateful for that. So if you don't want to talk about or report on stories that I mentioned here on Front Page Tech, totally cool. No hard feelings. I get it. Whatever. But to go out of your way actively to try to avoid saying my name like I'm the boogeyman, the Baba Yaga. Booby Yager? Baba Yaga? It's really sad. Here, I'll use this as an example. Understandably, 9to5 Google didn't believe the renders that I gave for Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro. Apparently, even after the design was corroborated by Max Weinbach. And so, you know, it was pretty nice to see that after Steve put out his renders that basically matched mine for the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro, it was nice to see that a writer from 9to5 Google actually apologized for doubting the previous renders. To Max. He apologized to Max. Like, he could have just said nothing. He could have just left it alone. But he went out of his way to not say me. Again, if you don't want to report and use my name, fine. That is absolutely cool with me. I'll keep making my show over here. And I may also be working on a little something else. I mean, who knows? Who's to say, really? But to quite literally go out of your way to not mention me is pathetic. Like, you can't just pretend that I'm not a person. I mean, am I wrong here? For most news publications, you're not supposed to be this biased. Every site usually has their own narrative. That's fine, but the news is still the news, whether you like someone or not. I get it. A lot of traditional media, Reddit, people that generally don't like fun, they don't like me, my personality, or the character that I play on the show. But not liking me shouldn't change the news. So if your not liking of John Prosser somehow changes the news or how you choose to cover it, that says more about you than it does about me. See you guys in a couple days.